Everybody and their brother remembers when Chris Brown dated Rihanna. I mean, of course everyone pays attention when Queen Riri has a man on her arm. But another woman was on the Chris and Rihanna dating timeline, and that's actress Karrueche Tran. But apparently, before Breezy got with Karrueche, she and former B2K member Omarion were kicking it. And to hear Hollywood Unlocked's Jason Lee tell it, you'd think they were about to go public with their relationship before Karrueche started being spotted out with Chris Brown. Did Chris Brown swoop in and take Omarion's girl? What did Brown say about this revelation on Hollywood Unlocked? Let's get into it, because we got a lot to talk about. So on the latest episode of Hollywood Unlocked, Jason Lee sat down with former boy band member Omarion, and then Jason took us on a storytelling journey. As he's known to do, he had the tea that day and he decided to spill it before even telling Omarion he was gonna do it. Anyway, Jason started off saying, "Me, Chris Brown, and Omarion, y'all were brothers. One night, they say, bring all these girls. So I brought all these girls, and one of the girls was Karrueche. Do you remember that? Y'all were kind of feeling each other."
Omarion, y'all were brothers.
Yeah.
Right? One night, they said, bring all these girls. So I brought all these girls, and one of the girls was Karrueche.
Right.
Do you remember that night?
Omarion confirms that what Lee said was true. And then Lee goes on to say, "I thought y'all were gonna be a thing. And then she was on Media Takeout with Chris, and you never said anything. What? If I was you, I would've." And then Omarion said, "Come on now, you gotta be unbothered." Unbothered is a reference to Omarion's book by the same title. Here's the thing, Breezy and Tran had an on-again, off-again relationship from 2010 to 2014. And during their first break, Brown got back with Rihanna. So it's not clear if this supposed incident happened in 2011 before Chris Brown and Karrueche were a public item, or during their break in 2012 to 2013. It seems like Chris Brown isn't really happy about this revelation. He made an Instagram story on November 8th that said, "Man, if you don't get your lamp on somewhere, be reaching for the stars." Basically, Chris Brown is over here telling Omarion to keep his name out of his mouth, but Breezy didn't actually say that the story didn't happen. So hold up, did Chris Brown just call Omarion lame, take his woman, and his career? Well, maybe. See, B2K had 4 members: Lil Fizz, J-Bug, Raz B, and Omarion. Part of the thing that made the boy band so unique is that each member had his own strength. 2 of the members were great singers, and 2 really excelled at dancing. And that's important to note for a couple of reasons. First, Omarion tried to outsing R&B legend Mario. To show off his hypothetical singing chops, he got into a versus singing battle with Mario, which he lost. And then his former B2K brothers made a post on their Instagram account saying, "You got served." Well, that ticked Omarion right off, and he typed out a whole book of a response, citing equipment malfunctions for his loss. But he also said this, "But to my 3 background dancers, I'm not surprised, cause this is how y'all always been, even while in the group, praying for my downfall. Well, keep praying, cause I'm overbooked and busy. Y'all really gotta get a job other than hating on O. I heard UPS is hiring." Former bandmate J-Bug let loose a long response himself. He said, "Fame is a hell of a drug. I know when we were together as a group, you wanted to be the most famous, aka the most favorite, but that wasn't the case. Fizz and Bug were the favorites. And you couldn't understand that because you sang all the leads by old school group design, but the guy who only talked on the track and in interviews, me, and the other guy who rapped on our singles, Fizz, were getting more love than you." That shed some light on Omarion's mentality and on the group dynamic. But then Bug said this, "Chris Brown took your career and Bow Wow just took your tour. If I was a backup dancer, you were a dancer with a record deal. Neither of one was singing, fool. LMAO. Welcome to the jungle. Hope you survived the night." They're probably not wrong about CB outshining Omarion. I mean, most people wouldn't even know who he was if it weren't explained that he was in the B2K boy band. When people online discussed the difference between the two, here's what they said. Chris Brown is/was a better dancer. He was a solo artist out the gate and was given better song selections on a consistent basis. Honestly, B2K and Omarion, way after my time, were lackluster at best. Never understood the appeal. Another person said, "Better music, better dance moves, and a cuter face. I'm not even a fan of Chris Brown's abusive but the facts are facts. But it wasn't just that Chris Brown was more popular than him. See, a molestation scandal rocked B2K. The record executive for the Ultimate Group record label, Chris Stokes, was accused by one of the members of B2K for molesting him. Raz B said that he didn't feel safe when they did the reunion tour in 2019 and Stokes was around. And apparently, J-Bug wore a t-shirt with the phrase to diss Raz B. But the thing is, that information didn't come out in defense of Raz. Omarion used it as an opportunity to make a buck off the back of his former bandmate's pain. That seems pretty innocuous on Omarion's part until you read what he captioned it with. Mental health is not a destination, but rather a process. It's about how you drive, not where you're going. Just because no one else can heal or do your work for you doesn't mean you can, should, or need to do it alone. In my new book, Unbothered: Power of Choosing Joy, I share some personal tools that have helped me stay balanced in challenging moments. It's amazing how some people find it so easy to twist and turn a story to shed a negative light on others just to play victim. The truth always comes out in the end, no matter how hard everyone tries to hide it. Lies are just a temporary delay to the inevitable. Wishing everyone who struggles mentally or physically strength and support. Needless to say, fans didn't really appreciate the fact that he was using Raz's situation to promote his new book, and a lot of people cite that as his downfall. The B2K breakup and then the molestation rumors. This insider anonymously commented on the whole situation and spilled all the tea. Chris was intimate and immature with all of them. The real reason why the Filipino guy left the group way back when was because his parents felt that Chris was inappropriate with Don and the other boys. Marquez was closest to Chris and helped some of the boys from B2K. That's interesting all on its own because Omarion is a Filipino name that combines Omar with Ayon. So it's pretty possible that this person is saying that Omarion left the group at his parents' behest. And if so, good on them for keeping him protected, but that probably sucked for his career. If you're wondering what happened to Chris Brown and Karrueche Tran, they broke up back in 2015 for the last time. See, Brown cheated on her and had a baby with Nia Guzman Amay, a model. So Tran got on Twitter and said, "Listen, one can only take so much. The best of luck to Chris and his family. No baby drama for me." The Claws actress also says she's probably done with red carpet relationships and ready to be single for a while.
Done with red carpet relationships, or you? I mean, not that
for a while.
For a while.
And that's why I've chosen to be single right now, because I'm just like I'm in this glow up phase.
I love it.
We love to see it, and we hope that she keeps doing well on her self-love journey. Omarion went on after this alleged situationship with Karrueche Tran to a relationship with April Jones. They dated for a few years, but eventually split in 2016. They still co-parent their kids, Mega, their 9-year-old son, and Ame, their 6-year-old daughter. Here you can see the two at Mega's birthday party. As far as his dating life goes, he said on the Club Shay Shay podcast that women usually chase him and find him, but for now he doesn't want a relationship. If I really thought about my lifestyle and being with me, like the pressure of being with me, and it just being one moment, I don't know if that exists. That honestly sounds really demanding, and maybe just a pinch of egotistical, but hey, at least he's self-aware enough to recognize it and not get other people hurt. So what are people saying about the Omarion Karrueche Tran situationship that was snuffed out before its time by Chris Brown? Men who gossip about who they have been with, who they tried to get with, and who they want to get with are so bitch me. And someone replied to that comment and said, "What's even more funny is that Karrueche's BFF is in the comment sections agreeing with Chris and calling the story cap. LOL. Here's what Karrueche's bestie is saying. The cap is real, but carry on. Someone asked if that meant Omarion's story was false, and they said, if the best friends say it's cap, then I definitely believe it. And then they went on to post a reach for the stars gif. But by far, the hottest take I've seen about the reveal is this one on Fox Soul.
You know, Omarion, I want you to go back to being zen, unproblematic Omarion. To be quite honest, no shade to Karrueche. She's not even the it girl anymore. I think her time has kind of come and gone. And this was useless, wasteless information. It was pointless information that served no other purpose than to drum up a little bit of tension between you and Chris Brown. Karrueche is not that girl like that. She's not fab like that. Ain't nobody
Claudia, you
around
frozen?
here. trying to get any
Yes. Can
piece
you hear me?
of.
I mean, that just makes sense. Otherwise, why even mention the situation? If a story goes live like that, mentions Omarion's name, Karuchi Tran, and Chris Brown, then of course it'll get more hits than just Omarion's alone. And I'm not saying he's out here clout chasing, but does look suspicious. So what do you think? Are you surprised by the Omarion Karuchi Tran pairing? Do you think it actually happened? And do you think Omarion just went public with his story to get some attention? Leave a comment to let me know, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.